Hey, what's up? Big John, aka Operation iDroid here, and welcome to my live reaction of Assassination Classroom Chapter 164. The wait for this chapter has been insane, and if you guys have kept up to date with Assassination Classroom, then you know what I'm talking about. With all that being said, if you'd like to read this chapter along with me, you can click on the card, not here, over here, or follow the link in the description below to read this chapter along with me, and we can read it at the same exact pace by following this overlay right there, and pretend like you're sitting right next to me and we're reading this chapter together. Now, we're at a new website. This time we're on MangaStream to translate Assassination Classroom because, as you know, the manga community translations has been a little shaken up recently because of a certain amount of activities, and unfortunately Mach 20 Scans was affected by that, but MangaStream is here to provide us with our Assassination Classroom, so I can't complain. So here we are, page 1. Hopefully you guys are here as well. If you're excited to read this with me, definitely hit that like button, as it's greatly appreciated. And without any further ado, I think we're good to go. So as you can see, the cliffhanger from last episode is real. The fucking laser beam of hell fucking just bombarding Classroom 3E and like the campus as well, which really is what pissed me off in the last chapter. Like, yo, how are you gonna go and destroy the campus too? Like, I understand this is called Assassination Classroom. At the end of the day, you either have to assassinate Koro Sensei or not, and I'm still not sure what I want for the manga myself, in my opinion, but what I am certain about is that you didn't have to go and destroy the classroom. Like, that was messed up. And as you can see, all the students somehow know, like, yo, something's not right here. Like, they all click. They're like, what the hell? What just happened? And here we go. We're currently searching the footage. First, Valdi has the entire school has hit the entire school grounds. What about him? Okay. Of course, shout out to MangaStream, page 2 for the translations. Page 3. Oh, we got Koro Sensei taking a selfie. Okay, good to know. We didn't really need to see that, but alright. Okay. So here we go, back into the story. How's that then? There's not one scratch on the school grounds or the mountain. What? Let's read that again. How's that then? There's not one scratch on the school grounds or the mountain. This is the anti-sensei penetrating laser satellite, otherwise known as Heaven's Lance. Using tortoise space antimatter energy as a source and amplifying it in a giant particle accelerator, it fires a gigantic laser from an altitude of 400 kilometers. So how is this school and the mountain like completely unharmed? This laser penetrates through any and all obstacles, disintegrating only tentacle creatures. Okay, that makes sense. So the only real worry I had about like them destroying the campus as well is gone now, because apparently this laser only targets like Koro Sensei, sort of like the same way that the rubber BBs and the rubber knives only target Koro Sensei. So I guess it makes sense. I just wasn't thinking. I was just shocked by the fact that they shot a fucking laser at the school. But I honestly don't think that Koro Sensei is dead. Like, there's no way. There's no way that they're just gonna kill him off like that. Without the least beat of advanced warning, the entire school was engulfed in the blast. Even he couldn't have avoided that. Whoa. It can't be. Of course it can be, yo. Our boy Koro Sensei is a god. He's our teacher. Of course he survived. You can't kill him off that easily. Like, come on now. I honestly, like, I was a little worried. That he could have been killed off like that, and I would have been severely upset because it's a shitty way to kill him off. But I had a feeling that Yusui Matsui, our artist, our freaking majestic storyteller, would not end it like this. So we continue. Neither the roof nor his clothes were damaged in the least. Only his tentacles were. Oh yeah, you could see like a couple of his tentacles are like pretty fucked up. I can't believe it. He actually dodged that. A silent laser that travels at the speed of light. Do you see that guy? He's like, a silent laser that travels at the speed of light. How the fuck? Then we remember it's Koro Sensei. Come on now. What an incredible honed sixth sense he has. So he was ready for any kind of assassination attempt. But regardless, this is the end. Since you managed to save your skin, go ahead and try fleeing, oh super being, because ahead of you, we've deployed one more weapon. Okay, why the hell did Koro-sensei just stop out of nowhere? That's pretty okay, we know why he stopped. There's some sort of like force field, like energy shield that's being formed by these like laser beams on top of rooftops, which I think we saw one of these being built at one point. I remember a panel that showed like one of these before, so I guess now we know what they're for. Apparently it generates like a force field, but it's, oh, I was gonna say, but like, if it's only like one wall, can't Koro-sensei just exit through the other side? But nope, this is a huge dome. It's like the fucking Simpsons movie. Like a massive energy field, force field just trapped Koro-sensei on the whole mountain, really, because you can see like in the middle of it, there's the class 3E, but the whole mountain is covered, so that's a pretty big force field. Holy hell. That's insane. The full panel, too. Crazy. Okay, so we continue. Anti-sensei penetrating laser barrier, otherwise known as Earth's Shield. Alright, so we got Heaven's Lance or Heaven's Spear and Earth's Shield. From the tops of the high-rise buildings, our surface engineers have camouflaged lasers which are focusing together, creating a hidden barrier the size of an entire mountain. Yo, so Koro-sensei goes to like see if he can like pass by it and just completely obliterates his freaking finger. And then someone says, you're out of places to run. Which is true, dude. Koro-sensei's pretty much trapped. However, all you have to do is break one of those like laser satellite things that are on the rooftops, and it wouldn't be that difficult to bring down the whole force field, and then Koro-sensei could just run away. But who's really gonna do that if Koro-sensei kind of needs to die? Some of the students do think that he can survive, as he only has a 1% chance of blowing up, but it seems like the government thinks differently. These lasers penetrate directly into the earth. This cage of light is not to kill you, but to ensure that you cannot escape. I would have liked Plan A's first volley to have stopped you, but from this point forward, we'll be rolling out Plan B in full force. All this still is within the scope of my prediction. Surface Force, commence emergency deployment of Case B. Yes, sir. So what is that? I guess they're just going to shoot another laser? But how come they haven't done it yet? Maybe it has like a loading time? I don't know. But here we go. Here we have all the students, and they're all like talking to each other like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And they all see the mountain just engulfed by this like force field. The world completely changed. Everyone from Class C immediately guessed what was happening and raced in the direction of the school. But what came right after was an order from Karasuma-sensei to stay on standby at home. Okay, so here we have the message actually translated. Emergency transmission. All of you are to wait on standby at your homes until you receive permission. Your job is to not discuss with any others. Yo, so the kids have been... Technically, the kids are like part of the military now that they've been in this class the whole time as assassins, and they've just been ordered to stay in their house. Now, are they going to listen? Probably not, but they technically are like supposed to listen if Karasuma-sensei tells them that. Armored vehicles set up blockades on all main roads leading up to the mountain. The buildings that were emitting lasers at the school were all fortified into strongholds overnight. No entry within 100 meters were allowed. No entry within 100 meters were allowed. Why did they say that twice? Oh, okay, that's what... Okay, so one of them said that, and now we switched back to them. I guess it was Ritsu. What's happening to Koro-sensei? I can't get through to his cell phone either. I am unable to communicate with the classroom where my main body is located. All the power lines connected to the mountain have been cut off. Holy shit. My house is the closest to the school. The country has ordered me to evacuate. There are so many soldiers. I would guess that it's this little town of ours. There's over 10,000 people right now. Like 10,000 soldiers? That's a lot of fucking soldiers. We were too naive. We thought that things could have just continued the way they were without anything happening. Everything had already been prepared, with all of us completely in the dark right under our very noses, down to terrifying, meticulous detail. Damn, dude, the students, like... Not to think that the government wasn't doing anything, but the students kind of, like, when they all came to the agreement that, like, yo, Koro-sensei is not gonna die unless we kill him ourselves, or, like, the students, they always thought that. Like, I don't think they really thought that the government would have stepped in if the students couldn't come through, but clearly that's not the case. And here we have like a news reporter. A mysterious dome of light has suddenly appeared over an area in the Kunagikukawa, probably said that wrong, hills. It seems any minute now the government will be making an emergency announcement. Okay, what could this be? The Prime Minister has begun to announce the nation's joint declaration. The giant light beam and the dome of light are two kinds of super assassination weapons. The current target of the weapons is also the being that destroyed the moon. If we do not annihilate this monster soon, he will end up ravaging the Earth. Clearly not the case. This is another example of how the media can change things. Left unchecked and unopposed, this monster, Koro-sensei is not a monster, it's just a weird octopus, has threatened our government and taken our students hostage, and acting as a teacher, he's been hiding himself at some school. Do you see how, like, awful they make Koro-sensei look in all the panels? Like, he's, like, drooling on the kids. Well, he does do that sometimes, but not that menacing. And, like, this picture that they have of him here is just, like, insanely menacing. Like, they make Koro-sensei out to be the bad guy, which I wouldn't say he is the bad guy, but he's had a bad past, let's be honest. All the nation's governments had been pretending to play along with him while secretly making preparations for his assassination. Rhymes. With the interest of each nation's self-defense in mind, this announcement clearly gives the impression that Koro-sensei alone is the enemy. Just as I was saying, the media is just like making Koro-sensei to be an asshole, which the students and we know is not the case. Heaven's Spear also has two major weaknesses. The first is the time required to charge up the energy to use it. I knew it. Like, why wouldn't they have just, like, rapid fired the heck out of Koro-sensei after the first one missed? Just, like, keep shooting it like an assault rifle, but apparently it needs time to charge. To fire at full power, it takes a week of charging. Damn. So that's the first weakness. The second is that until it reaches 100% charge, I can't see the next bubble because my freaking page hasn't finished loading. So I'm just gonna refresh here. Okay. Its location in orbit becomes clearly obvious. A portion of the energy has penetrating light radiating from the satellite. In the sky, this light shines even brighter than the moon. Okay, so its second weakness is that you can clearly tell when it's gonna shoot because it just shines bright like a diamond. Did you see what I did there? No, bad joke. Okay. That's why the first volley was only at 20% capacity so that we could fire from the darkness into the school grounds and gain the element of surprise. But since he managed to avoid that, there is no need to hold back now. I'm yawning. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Now that he's completely trapped beneath Earth's shield, we can take the time we need to get to charge it to 100% and then fire the laser and engulf the entire mountain. Damn. So he's pretty much fucked. If he doesn't get out of, like, the radius of the mountain, they're just gonna shoot that thing at full force and just obliterate any, like, tentacle materials in that radius, which, of course, is Koro-sensei, and, well, he's fucking dead. His death is now a matter of fact. All we need to do is spin public opinion in our favor. That's kind of messed up. Be sure to have some countermeasures in place for the more distasteful parts of the plan. The day announced for the firing of the finishing laser was March 12th. The day before the Earth might be destroyed on the 1% chance that Koro-sensei were to blow up. Yo, that's crazy. That is legitimately crazy. Wow. Well, what are the students gonna do, dude? They can't just go off deciding that on their own. What the fuck are they trying to do? I love when Terasaka curses. It's hilarious. With a sidelong glance at the world that had fallen into mayhem, all of us instinctively began running, heading straight for the school. The final mission remaining until Koro-sensei is assassinated. My page hasn't loaded and I'm getting goosebumps by this final panel. 7 days. Run to our classroom. Yo. So we now know the students are not giving up. They're not going to let the government kill Koro-sensei. If anybody's going to kill Koro-sensei, it's going to be the students. And that's even if they decide to kill him. Because 1 week from now will be March 12th. And the day that Koro-sensei is likely to blow up is March 13th, which only has a 1% chance, as we've learned. So it's like, damn. Because if the students are able to save Koro-sensei, right, before March 12th, there's only going to be, like, 1 day, and, like, I don't know, like, how it's going to work out. Like, even if Koro-sensei doesn't blow up, is the world government's really going to let him live? Like, are they really going to leave him alone like they have this past year and just let him live like a normal person like he was? I don't know, yo, but I'm pretty hyped right now for this final arc of Assassination Classroom. It's pretty crazy how far this anime has come. Like, to think that we started this anime with wanting to assassinate Koro Sensei, and here we are in like the final arc, it seems, and the students are trying to stop Koro Sensei from being assassinated. That's pretty awesome storytelling, and I'm really excited to see how the students are going to pull this off, because they have a lot of obstacles in their way. First, they would have to destroy the force field, which can be done. All they would probably have to do is like knock off one of the little like satellites that make the force field. However, we know that there's a ton of people guarding it. Like, you can't get within 100 meters of it without soldiers being there, which we know there's like about 10,000 soldiers in the city right now. So that's insane. So with only what used to seem like a lot of students in the classroom that I can't even remember all their names, seems to be like only a small amount of students up against the force of the military. So pretty awesome setup right now for this final arc. I cannot wait to see what goes down. I wonder if Karasuma Sensei and Arena are going to help out the students, being as they've been with Koro Sensei all this time and probably have the same feelings that the students have. But the thing is, will they be able to like disobey orders, as they're like literally directly employed under the government? So that's pretty crazy. And again, like, they're just kids. Like, how much in trouble could they get for doing this, you know? But anyways, if you enjoyed reading this chapter with me, definitely hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts about this chapter in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know if I missed anything, because I tend to do that sometimes. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next week for some more Assassination Classroom. And till then, I hope you enjoy some of my other videos. Anyways, as always, thanks for reading this with me, and keep being you.